So today I'm going to make a masterpiece painting of music superstar Taylor Swift and her beast of a boo Travis Kelce. To make this more magical and nostalgic, I'm going to place them in a scene from Beauty and the Beast. To make that happen though, I'm going to have to turn some football stars into inanimate objects. Let's jump into it. Let's start by breaking this into 3 parts. 1. The story. 2. The study. 3. The masterpiece. Anytime I start a painting, I have to dive headfirst into research. I look through hundreds if not thousands of photos, review other masterpieces, and dive into the story I want to tell. I thought a Disney princess story would be a good fit, but I didn't want to turn Travis into Teen Wolf's uncle, so I figured I'd make it into the transformation scene. The study. So for this study, I'll just focus on Taylor, as I like painting beautiful things, and that's what belle means in French. That's some knowledge for you. After 1 hour, we'll see where we're at, and when we're ready, we'll start on the big painting and see if we can turn it into a masterpiece. So we're at the halfway point of the study. This is the area where it starts to look a little bit funky, but it starts coming to life. The wash kind of just gets over the whole thing. You don't really want any white popping through unless you have a really brilliant white area. I like to wash in the background before I start digging into the darks real quick, to understand all the problems you're going to face in the larger piece, and allows you a little freedom to screw up if you need to. Less invested. The masterpiece. So let's talk about the drawing. This is the foundation for your painting, and if you don't have this looking good, you won't fix it later. It will look even more wrong and take a ton of work if you don't give up. Unlike Procreate, you're unable to lasso an eye and move it over later, so make sure you fix it in the drawing. So as you can see, I'm using India ink. It's an old master technique. It's like doing a save as, because your drawing really won't move after you add this in. Even if you have to wipe away the paint, it'll still stay in place. So how do I make this look like Beauty and the Beast? I can put them in old-timey clothes, but that doesn't really tell the story. Beast was an a-hole at such an epic level that a witch curses him, and it's like then an inverse of the Taming of the Shrew, but with more stakes, as all of his staff, which is like his only family left, is literally being turned into household objects, and he has to win a prisoner's genuine love while looking like a beast or they all die. And this is a time before furries, so that's even more challenging. So I figure I need Mahomes as Lumiere and Coach Andy Reid as Cogsworth. He already looks like the most Cogsworth a human can. And then we can have Travis's mom as Miss Potts and his brother as Chip, Jason Kelce, who just retired from the Eagles after a Hall of Fame career. They do a podcast and TV show together. Then I need the magic curse rose that, spoiler alert, loses its last petal, but gets resurrected with her kiss and he transforms back into his human form. Alright, so today we're finally going to get started on the face, and to do so, we're going to need to work on flesh. And here, my go-tos: maple yellow, Carolyn red, a little bit of ochre, needed for shadows, burnt umber, transparent earth, red or orange, and then I like to accentuate it with some cool highlights and stuff like that. And for that, I like to use the radiant cyan or the blue. So we'll get started by dropping in, and then I play around with like some purples too, with the dioxazine purple. That Naples yellow for Caucasian skin is my standard for the highlight area. Really like it, but we're gonna go with transparent earth red here. I like earth orange usually as kind of the wash underneath it. The other thing is we have the Chiefs uniform that we're gonna turn into kind of a modified suit coat that the Beast kind of wears. So we'll turn it into kind of old-fashioned coat, which kind of already built in. It sort of looks like it. We'll just make the sleeves come down. Now, folks get scared when working in oils, especially on how to get started with faces and figures. But when you're starting, just do a wash. I love transparent earth orange. Just dilute it a bit with Gamsol or your favorite odorless mineral spirit, and then brush in a monochromatic version of the shapes. Then we can get the shadow areas added in, and then after that, get some color in there. I usually like working with a broad palette, but you can do this with like 5 or 6 colors if you want. Then you build up the highlights. At that point, then you can start adding some smaller details right at the end, and you can finish with some impasto and glazing for a finish that pops off the canvas.
Holy shnikes, there's a beautiful sunset. I don't know if you can see it. Peeking through the blinds. Sunset on his painting. Oh man.
I'll take a look at the final results. I'm really pleased with how this turned out, and just super delighted by this curmudgeonly Andy Reid walrus stash Cogsworth face turned out. Mahomes looking stoic or maybe a little pissed off about being an inanimate lantern. Travis and Jason's mom looks so cute as a porcelain teapot, and how his bulky older brother Jason just looks so delicate as the character Chip and his burly beard. But then when we look at Taylor and Travis, that to me obviously it was the point of the piece and where it shines. I really got a kick out of this moment after watching the Super Bowl in person. There was something felt very genuine about that, about someone getting to celebrate someone else's victory. Felt very high school, like you won state or a big football game, which was fun to relate to. But I really liked in the images that I saw of how she was just mushing his cheeks right before the kiss. I was really happy about how I was able to reproduce that in oil, giving that luminosity. This is where I talked about the layers of white building in. You let that show through and oil just shines, or actually is penetratable and then shines back off the canvas, and it looks really good. So I'm super proud of that. But you guys be the judge. Let me know in the comments below, do you think I was able to turn them into a masterpiece, or is just a good painting? If you like this video, subscribe for more awesome paintings like this. I'm David F. Starr, artist, author, and your favorite internet professor. Go make something you're proud of.